Hey guys, it's Bridget and Jaime, and we are jumping on to talk to you a little more about the share guide today. Now, if you haven't watched the coaching guide or the live guide overview, you're going to want to pause this training really quick and get caught up before you continue on with this recording. But if you're all set with the previous recordings, you're going to want to be sure you have a share guide printed from doTERRA.com. Again, you're going to click under Our Advocates and Empowered Success, and there you'll find the share guide. All right, guys, so we are just finishing up with our lifestyle overview, and you got to see an awesome video with Miranda leading that last week. And so now we're on to the share guide, and we are going to coach you through a few things. First of all, we often get the question of when do we bring this up? And so we want to coach you a little bit with that and how we like to use this tool. So as you are finishing up a lifestyle overview or a wellness consult, that's always my favorite time to bring it up. And this is usually how it sounds. As we're finishing up, I usually say something like, so Jaime, what did you think?
Yeah, that was great. A lot of great information. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Usually as I'm going through this live guide with people, they usually have somebody's name that's kind of popping up like, oh my goodness, I wish my mom knew about this, or I wish my sister would have had that past tense. Did you find yourself that happening to you today?
It's funny you said that. That's what I was doing on my phone. I started writing down names like my sister, she just had a baby, and my mom, she's older than us, and there's definitely some deep blue and some other things I thought of for her.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that happens often. What I would love to do, if you're open to it, oftentimes people are excited to learn a little bit more about how they can share this with their friends. And so I'd like to send you an email to our share guide and let you look over just page 2 of it. And it's kind of got a little place for you to kind of jot down some of those names like you already started. And you
Okay.
can make a list if anyone's coming to mind.
Okay, yeah, I just wrote that down. That'd be great. I'll watch for that.
Okay, great. That sounds good. I'm going to send that over to you, and then we could set up an appointment in about 3 days if that works. And you can have
Yeah.
a few days that way to kind of jog your mind and see who comes, and then we'll check in and we'll set an appointment to go over that share guide.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'd love that.
Good. Okay, how does Wednesday at 5, or I also have Thursday morning about 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, let's do Thursday
Okay,
if that works for you.
awesome. Okay, I'll get that written down on the calendar.
Great.
Okay, guys, so that's how easy it is, okay? So as you finish up your wellness consult or your lifestyle overview, that's always a perfect time because it just makes sense. You've been going through it all, and it's just making the perfect amount of sense at that time to see if it's come up for them. What we'd like to do now is model for you the opposite of that. So say you're finishing up with your lifestyle overview and you pop that same question and they're like, nope. So we'd like to see, so we'd like you to see how to handle that. Okay, so Jaime, what did you think of that?
That was a lot of great information. Thanks for spending that time with me.
Absolutely. You know, often, Jaime, as I am going through this, people tell me that they find themselves noticing, like, oh my goodness, my mom needs that, or oh, I wish my sister had that. Did you find yourself doing that?
No, this oils and all this stuff is really new to me, and it's probably new to, I don't know that they know anything about it. I didn't know.
That makes so much sense. I totally get it. My family did not come from that kind of place either. So I would love to invite you as you start using your oils over the next few days. I know we talked about lots of ways and you were taking good notes. If anyone's name does kind of come up, if you're thinking of something, if you'll just want to jot that down and just keep in mind, if there's any referrals or people like that that you want to reach out to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely, you know a lot about oil, so I'll send them your way. Yeah, I'll do that.
Awesome. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so that is the flip side. It was not the end of the world. And so I know that sometimes people might be worried about how it's going to come across. It just comes across if you see just how natural it is. And if you're really coming from that place of making sure that they have their people covered, then you're going to ask for that referral that way. And if it makes sense for them, perfect. And if it doesn't, you just let them know if it ever does come up to please remember and keep you in mind. Good fit?
Awesome.
All right, great. Okay, so now we want to hop into the share guide and go a little bit more. And so we're going to now model that it's that Thursday morning, whenever Jaime said it worked for her, and I'm going to call and follow up with her. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. So you guys are looking at the same thing that we're looking at. All right. Okay, guys, so you can see that I have shared my screen with you, and we are going to jump in. So I'm going to call Jamie up and say, hey, Jamie, it's Bridget.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Yeah, did you have a chance to look at page 2 and get a few names jotted down?
I did, thank you. And I started to read a little bit more. I hope that was okay.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? I know
Yeah.
it's easy to kind of take off sometimes, isn't it? All right, so Jamie, I would love for you, since you've already done your job looking at page 2 and how we can share doTERRA and kind of start empowering others to get to use oils the way that you're getting started. I would love to tell you a little more about how you can invite some of these people that you've written down to come to a class and get to learn a little bit more. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you said you've already looked a little further. So if you look there on page 3, you'll see that there are 3 scripts, if you will, or just kind of some ways if you're kind of wondering, like, how do I even tell my friends that I want to do this? So they're going to have some great little ways for you to connect. And that's going to be, just some great little areas here, like maybe calling someone up and saying, hey, I just want to tell you I started using doTERRA and we're loving the way that they're helping me. It's working great for me and my family with, and you can share an experience, right? Does that sound
Okay.
pretty natural?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And then you're going to invite them to learn more, and that's going to be right in the middle section in number 2. And that's when you're going to say, so I would love for you to come if you're open to learning more about natural ways to care for your family.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good. All right. And then you're going to get permission for you to remind them after they say, okay. So you can say, if you're like me, I know that I always need a reminder. So I'll give you a quick text before the class. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, good. All right, and so then we're going to follow up with step 3. So they've already confirmed or committed. And don't forget this part, guys. So we're going to remind them to come to your class. Okay? And so that's whenever you can send either a text or a call and say, hey, I'm so excited to see you tonight. I'll make sure that I save a spot for you. Sound good?
It's funny, Bridget, as I was going through this, I saw like, this is what you did with me. And
Yeah,
it was totally natural. So
absolutely.
this was great. Thanks for providing this for me.
Sure, you bet. I know, and that's the most fun part about it because it just makes sense and it feels really nice and comfortable, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Okay. So if you would like here, Jamie, you'll be able to see, I'm going to teach this class for you guys, and I'm so excited to get to meet some of your friends and family as they show up. But if you'll turn to page 4, what I would love for you to do as you're playing around with your oils in the next few days, whenever I'm teaching the class and something comes up, I would like for you to try to get 1 or 2 stories that you can share. So maybe as I'm teaching and something comes up about digestion, that might be one of yours that you've already had an experience with, and I'd love for you to jump in and say, oh my goodness, I'd love to share. And that way
Okay.
your friends and family will get to hear a little straight from you.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. Another thing that I would love for you to do is if you can feel free, if you can introduce me at the beginning, just so they know that I'm someone that they can start to trust from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I definitely can do that.
Okay, awesome. All right, Jamie. So what I would love to do on the page 5, you're going to see a few tips on how you can give your friends some free samples. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's great.
All right, so I'm gonna, as you have your list, I'd like you to try to see and maybe touch base with them. Try to find maybe 1 or 2 areas that you can see. Oftentimes people come for us for help with things like rest or sleep management, often some tummy things, or maybe they're just wanting to focus on something small like that. And so I'm gonna leave you with a few samples of lavender and a few samples of peppermint. And if you wanna see which one of these would maybe make the most sense for your friends, I'd love for you to drop off a sample for them so they've kind of already had an experience before your class.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can pick those up from you.
Oh, great. Okay, either way, we can definitely, I'll get them made and we can see whenever we can touch
Okay.
next
Yeah,
step.
thank you for doing all this. I'm really excited.
All right, so we are on to page 5, guys, and you can see we're just going straight through the share guide. It's super easy, super simple. As Jamie's going through, and you can see as it just makes sense, right, as we're sharing. And so we can go all the way through the share guide, all the way to the end of it. We've already covered how that I'm going to be teaching the class. Her part is going to be to make sure she edifies me. And if you will go all the way straight to page 7, where she's going to edify, she's going to share a little bit, right? And then I'm going to be teaching the rest of the class. So it all sounds really good, and it all feels right for her, and it's going to feel great for her friends and family as they attend the class.
Perfect.
All right. So guys, thanks so much for joining us with the share guide. As you have questions that are coming up, we're going to have some more diamond tips that are going to follow with this. So stay tuned, and we're going to have more to share with you soon. Have a great day.
Bye, guys. Thank you.